The Colosseum in Rome, also known as the Flavian Amphitheatre, stands as a monument to the grandeur and brutality of ancient Roman civilization. While the image of gladiators fighting to the death remains deeply ingrained in popular culture, there are many lesser-known and shocking secrets about the Colosseum that reveal the true complexity of this iconic structure. Here we explore the astonishing stories that go far beyond mere gladiatorial combat, shedding light on political intrigue, hidden rooms, wild animal hunts, and the monumental engineering feats that made it all possible. A marvel of engineering. When Emperor Vespasian commissioned the Colosseum around 70-72 AD, he envisioned a structure that would symbolize the power and architectural ingenuity of the Roman Empire. Built in just under a decade, this massive amphitheatre could hold between 50,000 to 80,000 spectators. The construction relied on innovative engineering techniques, including a sophisticated system of vaults and arches, which distributed weight efficiently and allowed for rapid construction. But the true marvel lay in the Colosseum's hypogeum, a two-level underground complex of tunnels and rooms. This subterranean labyrinth featured a series of trapdoors and elevators, operated by a system of pulleys and winches. These mechanisms allowed wild animals, stage sets, and even gladiators to appear dramatically on the arena floor, often to the shock and awe of spectators. Wild animal hunts and exotic beasts. One of the Colosseum's most astonishing spectacles was the Venationers, or wild animal hunts. These events showcased the empire's vast reach by featuring exotic animals imported from all corners of the known world, lions from Africa, elephants from India, and even crocodiles from the Nile. The scale of these hunts was enormous, and the Colosseum's arena often became a stage for elaborate recreations of jungle or savanna environments, complete with artificial trees and foliage. The Venationes were not mere hunts, but grand displays of power. Animals were forced into battle with each other, or pitted against condemned criminals. The logistics of transporting and housing such creatures was staggering. It is estimated that over 1 million animals perished during the Colosseum's long history of games, contributing to the near extinction of some species in the wild. Naval battles and flooded arenas. Another lesser-known and shocking spectacle at the Colosseum was the Naumachia, or mock naval battles. According to ancient sources, the arena could be flooded to create a makeshift lake, where warships would engage in staged sea battles. These events required an immense amount of water and intricate engineering, including sluices and channels to manage the flooding. Some historians debate the feasibility of these naval battles, but archaeological evidence suggests that the Colosseum's early design included mechanisms for water management. One famous naval reenactment depicted a historic battle between Greek and Persian forces, involving hundreds of combatants and numerous small ships. Participants, often prisoners or slaves, fought for survival, and the audience witnessed the chaos of maritime warfare up close. While these battles may not have been as frequent as gladiatorial contests, they certainly added to the Colosseum's reputation as a venue for unimaginable spectacles. The dark side, execution and cruelty. The Colosseum was not just a place of entertainment, but also a stage for brutal public executions. One of the most horrifying forms of capital punishment involved tying condemned criminals to posts and releasing wild beasts upon them. These damnatio ad bestias executions served as both punishment and a grim form of entertainment for the crowd. In some cases, criminals were forced to reenact scenes from mythology, often with deadly outcomes. For instance, a man might be dressed as the character Prometheus, who was chained to a rock and had his liver eaten by an eagle, only in the Colosseum. This scene was played out literally with a hungry bird of prey. Such executions reinforced the power of the Roman state, serving as a warning to all who witnessed them. Political propaganda and emperor's influence. The Colosseum was a political tool as much as it was a place of entertainment. Emperors used the games to curry favor with the masses and distract them from political turmoil or economic hardship. Admission to the games was free, and food was often provided, making the events accessible to all Roman citizens. In this way, the Colosseum served as a unifying force, bringing together people from different social classes in a shared experience of awe and horror. One famous example of this political use is the reign of Emperor Titus, who inaugurated the Colosseum in 80 AD with 100 days of games, including gladiatorial contests, animal hunts, and mock battles. Thousands of animals and gladiators were killed, but the spectacle reinforced Titus's reputation as a generous and powerful ruler. Even the most brutal events were framed as a display of the emperor's munificence. Gladiators, slaves, celebrities, and rebels. While gladiators are often depicted as mere slaves fighting for survival, the reality was more complex. Many gladiators were indeed slaves or prisoners of war, but some were free men who chose the gladiatorial life for fame, wealth, or to escape a life of poverty. Successful gladiators could achieve celebrity status, attracting fans and even marriage proposals. Some were so admired that their likeness was etched onto everyday objects like oil lamps and vases. Yet, life for a gladiator was always uncertain. Training took place in ludi, gladiatorial schools, under harsh conditions, and fights were not always to the death. The outcome often depended on the wishes of the event's sponsor or the whims of the crowd. Gladiators who refused to fight or tried to escape faced severe punishment. One of the most famous gladiatorial rebellions was led by Spartacus, who, along with fellow gladiators, managed to escape and lead a large-scale slave uprising against Rome. The curse of the Colosseum, haunted legends, and hidden symbols. The Colosseum has long been rumored to be cursed. Some say that the restless spirits of those who died in the arena still haunt the ruins, their cries echoing through the ancient stone corridors. There are also tales of ghostly gladiators who roam the Colosseum at night, reenacting their final battles in a perpetual loop of suffering. Archaeologists have also discovered hidden symbols and carvings throughout the structure. These include protective talismans inscribed by Roman soldiers or workers, meant to ward off evil spirits. One of the more mysterious symbols is the Solomon's Knot, an ancient motif believed to represent eternity and the interconnectedness of life and death. Christian martyrdom, myth or reality. The Colosseum is often associated with the persecution of early Christians, but historical evidence is mixed. While it is true that Christians faced persecution in ancient Rome, the extent to which they were martyred in the Colosseum remains a topic of debate among scholars. The stories of Christians being fed to lions or crucified in the arena may have been exaggerated or conflated with other executions that occurred throughout the empire. In the centuries following the decline of the Roman Empire, the Colosseum became a site of Christian pilgrimage. Popes even declared it a sacred place, and today a cross stands in the arena as a symbol of the lives lost, both real and mythologized. The Colosseum's history is far more layered and complex than simple tales of gladiator fights. It was a microcosm of Roman society, reflecting the empire's greatest triumphs and most horrific practices. Today, as millions of visitors walk through its ancient corridors, the Colosseum stands as a testament to human ingenuity and the capacity for both wonder and cruelty.